y'all. So I'm going to do my third video on what I learn every 3 months of being a first-time mom for the first year. My first video was part 1, first time mom, tips and tricks, what I learned months 1 through 3. And then my second video is the same title except months 4 through 6. And now I'm gonna do what I learned months 7 through 9. If you haven't watched my other ones, go check them out. I try to give as much advice as I can so that any moms out there who've never done this before can be a little more prepared, even though everybody's baby's different. I try to say some things that are general for most babies. So let's get to it. During months 7 through 9, they start listening more to what you're saying, and they start saying little tiny baby words like ga, ba. Jasper says ka. Yeah, just little things like that. So they really enjoy listening to the ABCs because they're just like a bunch of different sounds in one song. So it keeps them kind of engaged. So what I'll do is I'll sing the ABCs to him while I'm changing his diaper because he is like, that's another thing. They become extremely squirmy, at least Jasper is, when you change their diaper. And I have a big baby too, so that might be part of it, but I have to like wrestle him practically to get him to stay still long enough for me to change his diaper. He's very strong. By the time I'm done, I'm like sweating and I need to sit down pretty much. So yeah, back to my first point. You can sing any kind of baby language to any tune. So, like in the car when I'm driving and he's in the back crying, I'll just sing like goo 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 goo, ga 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 ga, ba 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 ba, and you get the point. But they love that kind of thing. Just use all the vowels and add a consonant at the beginning. But yeah, it's a way to keep them engaged because at this point they're like getting wild and they kind of want to do their own thing, but they also are still attached to you. So it's like, I don't know, they just have a lot more energy now than they did the first 6 months. So, and that goes along with my next point. They start crawling, whether it's in the 7th month or 8th or 9th. Usually it's around this time that they start crawling. I think Jasper started crawling toward the end of the 7th month. By the 8th month, he was like getting around pretty well. And now he zooms all around the house. So you need to make sure that everything at their level is baby-proofed. And I've had to be more diligent about vacuuming just because we have 3 dogs. So there's like hair all over the place. So yeah, I have to clean the hair up and I have to make sure there's no like little things in the corners that he can pick up and eat. I did find a beetle in his mouth like a month ago. Eating a bug isn't gonna hurt them. I mean, obviously unless it's poisonous, but it happens. Babies get a hold of bugs and eat them. But every time I see anything small on the ground, I pick it up. Just, you gotta baby-proof all the ground levels. And now he's 10 months, so he's pulling up everywhere. So I'm gonna have to start clearing off all the counter space as well. Otherwise he's gonna yank everything off the counters. And we run a music studio at our house, so it makes it extra difficult because we have wiring and buttons and cables everywhere. So, fun stuff. Gotta baby-proof the whole house because they start crawling around everywhere. Along with the crawling, this is more toward the end of the 9th month. They figure out that they can get to you anytime they want, and you basically are never get a moment alone anymore. I'll mention this in my next video because I'm a little late making this video, but Jasper's 10 months now, and he is entering this stage where he's like ultra clingy. So there's nowhere I can go in the house without him wanting to follow me or me to hold him. Even when I'm going to the bathroom, he's like right there trying to get into the plungers and wanting me to hold him while I'm going to the bathroom. and it drives you insane, but I also know that that stage doesn't last very long, and I'm probably gonna miss it when it's gone, so just powering through. That's more of for my next video though, the clingy stage. Regardless, they still start crawling around everywhere. That's one of the big things to note about this stage. So I said they start pulling to a stand around the 9th month. My next point is keeping them entertained. They don't really need a lot of toys. They will like a toy for a couple days and then it'll just sit around and they will practically never touch it again. So I recommend not buying a lot of toys. Me and Patrick don't really buy him any toys because his favorite toys are cardboard, anything that's plastic, although we don't really like him playing with plastic because it can be toxic, but he likes plastic water bottles because they're all crinkly. If you have water in them, he shakes them up. Really entertaining for some reason. Anything that's just random that's around your house. Toilet paper rolls or paper towel rolls, any kind of bag that's crinkly that they can just crunch up, or wrapping paper. They like silverware, he likes spoons a lot, or like spatulas, a lot of things in the kitchen. He likes pulling the drawer out under the oven and getting in the pots, and yeah, you get the picture. Just stuff around your house is the most entertaining at this age. Don't worry about buying toys, just collect some stuff around your house and keep it in one place, or just use your imagination on a daily basis. That's pretty much what I do. When they start getting fussy, just look around and see what's available that's you think might be entertaining. Don't give them anything dangerous like knives, obviously. So yeah, and they like magnets on the fridge. Jasper really likes playing with magnets on the fridge. Just make sure they can't eat them. Keys, he loves keys. And his favorite thing to chew on is silicone. I had some silicone chewing toys for him that I bought when he was like 3 months old. But he just now started getting really interested in them. Now he loves chewing on anything silicone. We have this silicone little spatula to get icing out of, it's like a scraper, I guess. I just give him that. He loves chewing on that. So yeah, keeping them entertained with household things is a good thing to remember. They go from 3 to 2 naps during these 3 months, months 7 through 9. I'm missing a nail. One of my nails fell off. It's really attractive. Okay, so they go from 3 to 2 naps, and I'm way more lenient with Jasper's schedule now because he just seems to cope better with staying awake, especially if he's entertained. Like if we go somewhere that's interesting and we're pushing around in the stroller, or we're visiting family and he has a lot of things to engage with and people to engage with, he doesn't necessarily get too tired, so he'll sometimes just take 1 nap in the day. I basically just judge it by if he's getting really fussy and if I've already fed him and changed him, or if he's clearly tired, like yawning and rubbing his eyes, and I just go by what he's acting like. Basically, when he was first a newborn, I had a strict schedule for him just because newborns really like the consistency, but now he is starting to understand how things work and likes crawling around and playing with things, so he has a lot more things to do in life than just lay there and be an infant. So yeah, it's a lot easier to have kind of like a normal daily schedule because they're more flexible with their napping and eating times. So yeah, they go from 3 to 2 naps, and now that he's a little older, he's pretty much either taking 2 or 1 nap a day. The fun thing about this stage is that they start getting really goofy. More of their personality starts coming out, so they're really fun to interact with. Jasper kind of understands what humor is, so I'll joke around with him and he laughs. When I blow my nose, I like leave the tissue in my nose, and then I'll be like, he'll kind of like get that I'm joking around, and then by like the 3rd time that I do it, he starts laughing. He also is starting to understand how things work, like I said earlier. So like I taught him how to turn the light switch on and off. I taught him that actually, when he was like 6 months old. But now he has it down. Like when we go into his room and it's time to go to take a nap, I'll say, turn the light off. He just goes, boop, turns it off. He knows how to open the drawers in the kitchen. He learned how to open the refrigerator by himself. Yeah, just things like that. And my last note is they start eating 3 full meals a day, along with being breastfed or milk fed, whatever type of milk you're using. When he gets up in the morning, I'll breastfeed him, and he doesn't have a lot at each feeding, but he still likes having it, and it's still good for him to have. And then after he drinks his milk in the morning, I'll sit him in the high chair and I'll feed him. Man, he eats a lot of food in the morning, usually. So I'll always give him a banana at first because he loves bananas, and if we have some grapes, I'll cut up some grapes for him. Those are his 2 favorite foods. And then I'll usually get some oatmeal ready for him, plain oatmeal, and then I'll add some dried cranberries to it, and then I'll mix it up and just feed it to him like that, and it's actually really good. Sometimes if he's really hungry, I'll give him some of his baby food that I always have prepared in the fridge, just for like a extra top off to a meal. I have another video on how to make that baby food. It's basically just veggies and some apples. So that's what he eats for breakfast, and then he will basically play for a while and go back down for a nap after about 1.5 to 2 hours. And then when he gets up, it will be lunchtime, so he'll drink milk again. I always feed him some milk right before he goes down for a nap too. So most of the time he's awake, he's eating. The other 30 minutes he's playing. So, and then he'll have lunch, which is usually fruit, more fruit. And then I'll give him some veggies too, just some raw veggies that I cut up for him. A lot of times I'll either pop a veggie burger patty into the toaster oven and cut it up and give it to him, or I'll give him some cooked potatoes, or I'll give him some cooked veggies. I gave him some bread with hummus on it the other day. He kind of liked that. He usually just eats a little bit of normal food of each thing, so I'll just have to fill him up at the end with the baby food. So then after lunch, he'll play again, and he'll stay up longer this time, so depending on how long his first nap was, he'll stay up for the rest of the day until bedtime, or he will go down for another nap after about 2 hours. I try not to put him down for another nap too late, so if it's close enough to his bedtime, like if it's 5:30 and he's getting tired, I try to keep him up. I try to go outside on a walk, just try to keep him entertained, give him a bath until it's his bedtime, which is at 7 or 7:30, sometimes 8, just depends. The schedule is different every day. Then around 5:30 or 6, I'll give him his dinner, which is kind of the same thing as lunch, just different stuff. It'll be some quinoa with some veggies in it. A lot of times it's just a jar of his baby food and it's a little bit of fruit or veggies. That's how his schedule has been for a while. But yeah, the 3 solid meals a day started becoming a thing during the 7 through 9 month period. So be prepared to give your baby milk and food 3 times a day during this time. So it's a lot more food preparation. So yeah, that's most of the things that I have down for months 7 through 9. Just as busy as all the other 3-month periods, but in different ways. I guess you could say it's more fun now that they're more of a little fun personality and you can do more things with them. You definitely get more sleep depending on what time you go to bed. He was waking up about once a night during this month 7 through 9, but I kind of just went along with it. Some people might want to strictly make sure their baby's sleeping through the night. But one time a night, just going in there and feeding him and putting him back down wasn't too much of a bother to me. So I just figured it was easier just to give him a little snack in the night and put him back down, because he would go right back to sleep after that. Figured that was easier than trying to train him not to wake up at all and sitting there while he cries and cries. So yeah, that's what I did. And now he's sleeping through the night pretty much every night. So knock on wood. Yeah, be prepared to maybe have some rough nights again. as they're teething and just going through different things, learning how to crawl and pull up. They just learn a bunch of stuff these months, so might need a little bit of comforting in the night every once in a while. It didn't bother me to do. It's not nearly as much of a hassle as it was when they were newborn. But yeah, that's most of my tips and tricks for months 7 through 9. So if this video was helpful to you, and if you enjoy my 3-month advice videos, then give me a like, please. If you're not subscribed to my channel yet, please subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you for watching. Bye.